You're watching EAC News. Thank you for joining us. Business groups in Cambodia have been waiting for the country's economy to slowly reopen after being shut for more than a year due to the COVID-19 pandemic. And they're hoping for a full reopening as soon as it's feasible. Not only that, but they'd like to see Phnom Penh eventually becoming Cambodia's first travel bubble, allowing fully vaccinated business people and tourists in. Cambodian Investment Management Holdings says business groups and industry associations are making recommendations such as these to the royal government. Its Group Chief Executive Officer, Mr. Anthony Galliano, sat down with EAC News reporter Rhea Soko.
Baby steps is what they're calling it. First, allow fully vaccinated returning Cambodian residents, citizens, and foreigners to be able to quarantine at home. Group Chief Executive Officer of Cambodian Investment Management Holdings, Mr. Anthony Galliano, says the $2,000 deposit currently required for foreigners entering the country, in addition to the 2-week quarantine, is pushing investors and business people away. He says that by removing the $2,000 and changing to home quarantine, the country's economy, particularly the tourism and hospitality sectors, would slowly bounce back.
We have seen decimation in the industry. It's the amount of revenue lost in some cases has been 100% in hotels and guest houses, and maybe 60% or more in restaurants. And this has been it's an important part of the country. Tourism is 25% of the country's GDP. It was, it's by far nothing now. It's almost it's disappearing down to the single digits. We're losing a lot of hotels and restaurants, travel agencies that won't come back for years. And that's already done.
He says the next step in the recommendations is to open up borders for international business travel. He emphasizes that the quarantine period for this should be in line with the recommendations of medical doctors, ranging from 3 days to 2 weeks, as long as those travelers have a vaccination passport.
There's a lot of projects in Sinakville we'd like to see back started up in terms of the economy. Sinakville is going to be a huge national asset for the future for Cambodia as the casino capital of Southeast Asia. And that's going to be huge for the national coffers. It's going to be huge for the national treasury. So we'd like to see some of those projects finished, some of the projects, real estate that are unfinished, bringing those investors back in, bringing those buyers back in, bringing that foreign investment back in when it's safe and the right time.
Along with the adjustment of the entry requirements, Mr. Galliano says there should be an increase in penalties for quarantine violators to avoid any more community outbreaks. The royal government's vaccination campaign in Phnom Penh has left over 75% of the capital's population fully inoculated. People are already eager to get out and travel, while business groups are hoping that this will be the start of slowly restoring the economy that's been hit hard by the pandemic. Rhea Soko, EAC News, Phnom Penh.